so my girl got mad and she my bro. Monica, you're wrong though. That's against a bro code. Headed to his home though. No, he living solo. Vertebrae. Got this broken to his place. It's chin in his face. Yeah, then I say it's evidence. You entertain my loyalty to infiltrate the only woman that I claim to risk your life to get some strange. How my anger is a pain. You didn't know that I'm a saint. I will blow your up. Then I again. Gone. Feel it in your bones. You ain't gonna feel it till I'm gone. Caught up in your feelings, now you froze. And everything around you getting cold. The chill is in my bones. Caught up in my feelings, now I'm froze. I don't really feel it till you gone. And everything around me getting.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll go right back to Pierce. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Mills. Finds his man. It's John Mechie. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
First and 10, it's Pierce. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Keon Crossan there on the tackle. You don't see that a ton, do you? The cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Pierce gets this one running right. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. First carry now for Gus Edwards. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll they'll try and run for it. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. To end the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Off of play action. Tagovailoa. That's going to be caught downfield by Hill. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. What a play that turns out to be. 36 yards.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Excellent recognition that none of his receivers were beating coverage and getting open, so he just threw that one away. They'll come back to the huddle, reset, and try something different.
On 2nd and 10, Tua. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Texans are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And he's got some space here. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. So the completion good for 7 there, and that will bring up 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Hand off right side to Pierce. And this will be a Texans 1st down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Mills on 1st down. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Keon Crossett. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward. Well, these are the situations that really tested defenses. Sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. First carry for Raheem Mostert. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
No score after one on EA Sports. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Here's Tua. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Sanders' kick is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know, I'm really excited about that. The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Melvin Ingram, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. They set him on the blitz from that running back spot.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it was hard for anyone to react.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's a much-needed completion right there on third down. Really a sigh of relief, isn't it? They're backed up deep. You know they don't want to give the ball back to the other guys. A great field position. They needed that throw, that completion, that first down.
First down, Mills. Short little throw to Ebron. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now a handoff for Pierce. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Going for it with Pierce. And this will be a Texans first down as the tackle made at about the 38. And, Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in first downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams. But this squad, they're in a position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a first down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Desmond King back deep. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position. Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Mills. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit. And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup. After the turnover, it's Tua. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Tua to try again on 2nd down. Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the 2nd half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
A man who played college football here in the Sunshine State. It's USF's Marlon Mack. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mills. Right side completes to Mechie. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They'll run the screen with Mack. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. They'll run here with Edwards. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Gus Edwards, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And a short kick taken at about the 16. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how.
Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
A 7-yard pickup. It brings up 2nd and 3.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
On first down, they go with Mostert again. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And Pierce gets it again on second down. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 50 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Well, now they'll try the end around. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Mills. Short little throw to Ebron. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
A couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Mills can't get away, and down he goes. Emmanuel Ogbah. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Give to Pierce. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. On play action, Mills. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Keon Crossen.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
On 1st down, they look downfield, and it's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They give him a gain of 37. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of a game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
Escaping the pressure right, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. So what a turn of events there. You're driving to take the lead in this 3rd quarter, but then one mistake, and you're watching the ball being returned for a touchdown.
Certainly a great example of how focus has to be there on every play, doesn't it, partner? You can't get complacent, and I think that he did. He's got him moving downfield, but that's a play where he just shouldn't have thrown the football, and that ultimately could wind up costing him the ball game.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
At their own 15-yard line.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 15. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And going deep for Hill. And my goodness, another interception. Derek Stingley picks it. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Ball sits on the 10, 2nd and 5. Another carry for Pierce. Gets around him. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
I think that's about as good a 3-yard run as you're going to see. And he actually did with a little bit of flair, didn't he?
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. Here it's 3rd and 2. Pierce will try to pick it up. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Well, no doubt here in the fourth quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Dameon Pierce with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Texans look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken from about the 12. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Okay, right.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there, and trailing big here in this fourth quarter. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Brad McDougal. And the Texans are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I can go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
83 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
1st down, Texans.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. 1st down, they go right back to Pierce. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you see